For components of written language, we need to be familiar with parts of speech, things like subject-verb agreement, how to do that, and prepositional phrases, a couple other items as well. So let's go through it. Start off with nouns. Any member of a class of words that can function as the main or only elements of subjects of verbs, such as a dog just barked, dog would be the noun, or of objects of verbs or prepositions, send money from home, money and home both would be nouns, and in English can take plural forms and possessive endings. So in this sentence, 3 of his buddies want to borrow John's laptop. Buddies and Johns are both plural and both nouns. Nouns are often described as referring to persons, places, things, states, or qualities. A verb typically expresses action, state, or a relation between two things, and that may be inflected for tense, aspect, voice, mood, and to show agreement with their subject or object. A verb conveys an action with words like bring, read, walk, run, learn, or an occurrence with words like happen or become, or a state of being with words like be, exist, or stand. An adjective modifies nouns and pronouns, primarily by describing a particular quality of the word they are modifying, such as wise in a wise grandmother, or perfect in a perfect score, or handsome in he is extremely handsome. Okay, let's take a look at adverbs. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, adjective, another adverb, a noun phrase, clause, or sentence. Adverbs typically express manner, place, time, frequency, degree, level of certainty, and answer questions such as how, in what way, when, where, and to what extent. It's important to know that many adverbs end in ly. If you are unsure of what part of speech you are looking at and it ends in ly, there's a good chance it's an adverb. Examples include quickly and truthfully. Other examples of adverbs would be words that describe how something was done or the manner in which it was done. These would be words like cheerfully and randomly. Some adverbs tell the location of an action or where it occurred. Adverbs like this would be somewhere, inside, outside, or downstairs. Examples of adverbs that tell when an action occurred or its time include often, now, today, or later. Adverbs can describe to what extent something was done or an action was executed, such as very or almost. So really lots of types of uses for adverbs and need to be familiar with all of those. Okay, subject-verb agreement. Subjects and verbs must agree with one another in number, meaning they both need to be either singular or plural. If a subject is singular, its verb must also be singular. If a subject is plural, its verb must also be plural. In the present tense, nouns and verbs form plurals in opposite ways. This is important to know. Nouns add an S to the singular form, while verbs remove the S from the singular form. So let's look at a couple of examples of that exact situation. So we have these two sentences. The dog chases the cat. The dogs chase the cat. Okay, so remembering what we just went over, dog is a noun, and it's singular because there's no S. And to get the verb to match up, that means chase needs to have an S at the end, chases. Chases is singular as a verb. And in the plural form, the dogs chase the cat. Okay, so now, because we want it to be plural, dog will now have an S at the end, so it's dogs, and chases will take away the S, so it just says chase to make it plural. So these agreement rules have a few exceptions, and so that is and are, was and were, has and have, does and do. So those are singular and plural forms. So we're going to focus today for this video on has and have and see how that works. They all work the same way. We're just going to pick out has and have. Okay. So look, we have 4, again, really focusing on really simple sentences just to get the concept down. So we have the girl has talked to me, the girls have talked to me. So let's look at these 2. Right, so we have the first sentence is singular, girl and has. Right, so the girl is the noun, right? So no s because it's singular, has the singular verb form. The second sentence, the girls have talked to me. So now we put an s on girl, so now it says girls to make it plural, and have is the plural form of has. Okay, the next 2 sentences, the girl has been talking to me, the girls have been talking to me. Again, same exact thing. Girl is singular, so then we use has. Girls is plural, then we use have. Okay, second helping verb. What we have here, the girl could have talked to me. The girls could have talked to me. So because we have this helping verb, is the only thing, the have stays the same in both the singular and the plural sentence, right? So the only thing that changes is girl and girls. So the noun still has a singular and plural form, but the helping verb remains the same. Okay, so nouns and pronouns. Or just pronouns, sorry. He talks to the girl, and then the second sentence says Brad, comma, you talk to the girl. Okay, so when it's he talks to the girl, then we have singular on both. But when we put a pronoun, in this case the name Brad, in front of it, then you and talk, you is singular, talk is plural. Moving on to prepositional phrases. Every prepositional phrase is a series of words made up of a preposition and its object. The object may be a noun, a pronoun, or a clause. A prepositional phrase functions as an adjective or adverb. Commonly used prepositional phrases include before we start the meeting, after many tries, and according to what the professor said. So we look at our sentences here, and we want to recognize what is the prepositional phrase. So we start with there are monsters under the bed. Under the bed is the prepositional phrase. All the rooms below the deck are for sleeping. Below the deck is the prepositional phrase. Against all odds, Johnson graduated first in his class. Against all odds would be the prepositional phrase. And last one. Subordinating conjunctions are parts of speech that join dependent clauses to independent clauses. The transition always indicates a place, time, or cause and effect relationship. For example, we looked in the freezer where Matt often hides his candy. So the thing that connects the dependent and independent clauses there is where, the word where. So let's look at our examples that we have here. As Brad carelessly played with his new blowtorch, he caught his hair on fire. So the word that connects the 2 parts of the sentence is the first word, the word as, because without it, you couldn't put a comma after torch and have that be a sentence. Second one, Sarah begins to sneeze whenever she opens the window to get a breath of fresh air. In this case, whenever would be the subordinating conjunction. And the last one, when there was a knock at the door, my dog Bubba barked loudly. And so in this case, the subordinating conjunction is the word when. So we don't want to make the mistake of thinking it's supposed to be right after the comma. That's definitely not true. So sometimes, like 2 of these 3 cases, it could be the first word in the sentence.